Hello there everyone again at YouTube. I am excited today to talk to you about the 1 billionth adaptation of the Jungle Book original book. And I'm just kidding. I don't know how many adaptations there have been of this movie, or this book, sorry. And without further ado, guys, I just guess we're gonna go right into the review. So in case you guys don't know, the Jungle Book is the story of the young man cub named Mowgli, who is raised by wolves who was raised by wolves when he was just really little, and now has to leave the jungle to go back to the man village because Shere Khan, the great tiger of the jungle, is pursuing him to attempt and kill him. Now I'm going to tell you guys what my first thoughts were when I saw that they were doing another Jungle Book adaptation, and it was all going to be CGI. And I saw the first trailer for it. The second I saw it, I didn't think this movie was going to be good at all. I honestly did not think that it looked good. I have grown up like many people with the original Jungle Book movie, which it's back there. I don't need to get it. And I also grew up watching the direct-to-video version called Mowgli's Story by Disney. It's bad. But the original Disney animated film is what the main one that everyone will tell you about if they ever hear the Jungle Book. That's the main one. People always say, "Oh yeah, I've seen the Jungle Book," or something like that. So when I went into this movie and I saw the magnificent CGI, the great story, the great acting, all of it, I was just like, this is the definitive Jungle Book now. I even went and watched the animated one right after I had seen the new one in theaters, and I'm like, yeah, I think this new one has got to be the definitive Jungle Book adaptation. First thing I want to say is, whoa, because going into the movie, I didn't know that everything except for the actor Neil Sethi, I think that's how you say his name at least. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. The main actor kid who plays Mowgli, I didn't know that everything else except for him was CG in this movie. I thought that at least some of it might have been on location. Nope. And even when I went into the movie knowing that, I still was dazzled by the CGI in this movie. There were times I didn't think that they were CGI. I thought that looks real. Well, as to whether or not that will hold up a few years down the road when we get better CG, I don't know. We'll see. But at this very moment, it honestly looked real to me. And I'm someone who it's really easy for me to tell the difference between real and not real graphics, or animated stuff in general, 3D objects in general. So seeing that just blew my mind, and just thinking about it, like everything else except for him in the movie is CG, just blows your mind with what the filmmakers and animators and all of them were able to do with this movie, because it is a gorgeous movie. Everything looked great. The CG, including the environments, the animals, all of it. It all looked so amazing. There were times in which I had to just do a double take. Like, that's actually CG? No way. The only thing I did have a problem with CG wise was probably Bagheera. Bagheera just didn't look convincing enough at times. Maybe at certain times, like when he was shown in the sunlight and everything, I was just, no, that doesn't look good. Other than that, everything looked good. Sorry, and I really want to make a special note of Shere Khan looked, I think, almost exactly like an actual tiger. King Louie, the scale in which they put him, and the entire scene with him, looks fantastic. I was blown away by that. And speaking of Christopher Walken as King Louie, all the performances I thought were fantastic. All the voice acting, all of it just was amazing. Especially Christopher Walken as King Louis. He just fit the role perfectly. I think he was a lot more menacing than the one in the original animated version, and I really like that about him in general. He really gave off that very angry mob boss type figure. Ben Kingsley as Bagheera did a very fine job. Bill Murray as Baloo, nice. That actually was a pretty good casting choice. Apparently, some people would have rather it had been John Goodman. Don't know how I could. I don't really think I can imagine that now because I've heard Bill Murray in the role. But I think Bill Murray did a very good job. He really brought me into the character and was very funny as well. Scarlett Johansson is Kaa. So the entire scene with Kaa in general is mostly an exposition scene. It's made so that you know why Shere Khan hates humans, kind of, I guess, and learn more about Mowgli's past and everything. But that's all it's good for, and introducing Baloo, and that's it. Kaa had a kind of a bigger role in the original animated film, but overall, yeah, it was honestly an unnecessary scene besides a few of those things. But I honestly think it could have been shown in a more interesting way, but that's just me, I guess. So, of course, I can't talk about performances without talking about Idris Elba as Shere Khan. Oh my gosh. Here's the thing about the original animated Shere Khan. He was just this really almost like what's the term for a British man? Almost like a just quirky and charming British tiger, basically, that was conniving, menacing, and kind of menacing, and all that. And he just didn't really have any depth to him in and of himself. But the Shere Khan in this movie, oh my gosh, if Idris Elba did not give a freaking fantastic performance. The voice sounded menacing. You knew why Shere Khan wanted Mowgli to be dead. And like his ferocity in some of the scenes. I'm not going to spoil anything because you need to see this scene for yourself. The moment in which he does this really like, oh my gosh, he just did that scene. I was like, whoa, wait a second. This is a kid's movie, right? It was crazy, and his ferocity is just amazing. When he actually would show up when he would like appear on screen, you just got the manipulative and evil presence from him. He honestly stole the show in my opinion. He was great. Speaking of performances, so Neil Sethi plays Mowgli. He did a pretty good job in my opinion. I don't know if everyone else would say that, but I thought he did really good. I honestly did. Some people might have a problem with him not being like not really knowing what he's doing at times, like not knowing where he's supposed to look or something, because he kind of does like this at times a lot in the movie. But I think people should cut him some slack. It's his first role ever, like, in a movie, and he had to react to stuff that, for the most part, wasn't even there. So, I would think that it would be kind of a tough challenge for him, and I think he did a good job in his performance overall. And he gave a very convincing performance as well, and I think Neil Sethi did a very good job. I hope I see him in more movies from this point on. Also, the sound mixing in the film was great. I really liked it. One problem I had, I don't know if this is a problem with the theater that I was in, speakers or something, or the audio on the movie itself, but for some reason, for the first like 30 to 40 minutes of the movie, I could barely hear a thing that the characters were saying. I could barely hear. I was like, why can I barely hear the characters? And like all the sound effects and music were really loud though, so it would like drown out their voices at times. I was like, what is going on? But then I think it was about the time that Kaa showed up that the voice actings and whatnot sounded normal. So I don't know if that was a problem with the movie or my theater, but just be wary of that if it is a problem with the movie. Other than that, though, sound mixing was really great. It really sounded like there were actually people in these certain areas. Like if they're inside a building, it actually echoes around and everything. It actually sounds like they're in certain environments that they are at. The sound effects were great. Actually, the score was pretty good in my opinion. I really like the really cool instrumental version of Bare Necessities that they play at the end of the movie. It was in the second trailer for this movie, and I just really liked that. It's great. And yeah, overall the music was really good. Voice acting didn't sound bad, except for obviously what I mentioned. All just sounded good. Great. The Jungle Book, directed by Jon Favreau, it's honestly one of my favorite films of the year so far. It was a dazzling, like, visual experience. I wish I had seen it in 3D because that would have been awesome. The all of it looked amazing. All the CG looked amazing. Like, I usually don't think of CG that highly because it's usually used in such a cheap manner that had no effort put into it, and it makes it look awful. But this movie, it cared about how good it looked, how good the CGI looked, and it really shows. I am impressed with the overall, like, artists and visual designers and all the teams that worked on that stuff. The performances were very good. I really liked all of the voice acting performances. Scarlett Johansson's appearance again could have probably been avoided, and except for the fact that yes, it did provide some information to the story and involved the introduction of a certain character. Bill Murray was phenomenal as Baloo. Christopher Walken as King Louie. Oh my goodness, and pay attention for an SNL reference right before he's introduced into the film. Just pay attention for it. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. The entire scene with him was probably one of my favorites in the movie. It was that good. Idris Elba as Shere Khan, not only a great performance, but it had an interesting character for the main villain. And the ending to the movie was great. I love the story overall. And guys, with that, I gotta say that the Jungle Book 2016, I guess, is definitely pure amazingness. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching my review of the new adaptation of The Jungle Book. If you like this review, again, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and look forward to more of my videos. Yeah, this was a great film. It was a very fun time. Like, I love it when I can have fun in theaters now, when I don't have to think about movies. Sometimes it just gets annoying. So, yeah, this was a very fun experience for me in theaters. I actually saw a lot of adults in the theater when I was in there, which was a pretty big surprise, but not too much, I guess, considering I'm sure a lot of them grew up with the original animated Jungle Book. Anyway, guys, yeah, I want to thank you again so much for watching. I'm probably actually going to have a nostalgia video, whatever the heck I'm doing, video up soon, probably in the next week or so, because I just went to one of the last blockbusters, like, in the world, probably, and it was closing down. I thought, today is the day I have to go there, or it's not going to be there anymore. So I went there, I filmed in there, and I probably might make a video out of it, but we'll see. If you guys like The Jungle Book, if you have seen it, comment below what you thought of the movie, and if you haven't seen the new Jungle Book yet, comment below what was your main Jungle Book adaptation that you watched growing up. Mine was, of course, the original animated one and the Mowgli story, one that I always rented on VHS not rented, but got on VHS from the library all the time. I don't know why I liked the movie so much. I guess I was just a kid. So, and look forward again to my Uncharted 2 review, which should hopefully be up in the next week or so. And Yeah, other than that, guys, I think I might review the original Jungle Book, but we'll see. And with that, guys, I want to thank you again so much for watching, and I gotta bid you adieu. Bye. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, old Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life.